Hi people, my name is Mr. again as always and as usual. I'm going to do a really quick video on, as you can tell based on the header as always and as usual, on the fact that if you know how, as an occult technique, you can understand any language, and how it works is that you simply need to use your spiritual power if you're an occultist or if you're clairvoyant to focus specifically. If someone's talking to you or speaking to you in a foreign language, you can understand what they're saying, even if it's not into glorious detail, so to speak. You can understand at a base level what they're saying based on the intent. And how it works is that, imagine you not speaking French and someone speaks French to you. When the person is talking, you need to focus on the spiritual intent that the person is giving off, and that will tell you what the person is saying. And of course that requires a base level of concentration. The benefit in this is that you don't need to be an occultist, or you don't need to be a magician or anything like that. You need to simply be all you need to do is be clairvoyant at a base level, honestly. Someone that's naturally clairvoyant will be able to do this, albeit with a little bit of exercise, obviously. You'll notice that you'll get better, as is with everything, through practice after trying it a couple of times. But point in case is that, yeah, you can do so, let alone if you're like a fully bona fide magician like me, or let alone me. So yeah, for example, if I want to understand what someone is saying in a foreign language, I can do so by simply focusing on the person's spiritual intent when they say something in a language I don't understand. I don't have to understand the language. I just have to briefly focus on the energy they give off when they're saying something, or better said, the intentional energy of the word that or the sentence or series of sentences that they were pronouncing or are pronouncing. The tricky part in this is, just like with magic or with occultism, it's hard to turn off critical thinking, but you need to do so. People make the mistake, so just ignore any background noises you hear. The mistakes that people make is that when they try doing this is that they focus too much. Their mind automatically goes into logic mode, if you will, in a matter of speaking. They essentially focus too much on what the person is saying, and they try to actually decipher the phrases or the words or the sentences. They actually try to understand it in like a mundane way. No, you're not supposed to do that. If someone, for example, if you don't speak English and someone tells you how's it going, people will usually try to, for example, someone that speaks only Spanish, the person will try to understand how's it going, but the person can't connect the dots because the person is trying to use logic. As in, the person is trying to dissect the words, how is it going? Okay, and obviously that's not going to work, because how's it going compared to como estas are two vastly different things. And it's also the case vice versa. But again, you need to turn that part off. Don't focus on what the person is saying grammatically and linguistically. Don't focus on what the person is saying in the way of sentences and words and everything. No. Focus purely on the intent, the energy that the person is giving off. And you'll notice that it doesn't matter what language or which language someone speaks, even if it's a completely unknown language to the rest of the world, an unofficial language, you name it, some kind of indigenous dialect, it does not matter, okay? Because you're essentially reading the person's energy when they speak, specifically in relation or in reference to what they're saying. And thereby you'll be able to understand what they're saying, because you can read energy. Energy has no language. For example, I don't speak French, and I did this with a former customer of mine. She sent me an audio note, and I don't speak French. I know phrases and bits and whatnot, and I can understand some things, but not like an entire in-depth conversation or an in-depth explanation of something. And yet, in the moment, I essentially forced myself to understand what she was saying, and I could actually understand what she was saying. And it was, when I did it for the very first time, it was amazing, because I could actually hear what she was saying spiritually, not physically. I didn't focus on the physical words. I didn't focus on bonjour, morino, blah, blah, blah. No. I focused purely on what she was saying. spiritually, and I heard everything. And I confirmed by double checking with someone that does speak French, and the person was like, "Yeah, wow, you actually understood what she was saying." I was like, "Yeah, I understood what she was saying. I literally just converted what she was saying into energy, and I could follow everything that she was saying. I know what she said in that voice note." And there you go. So now you know. Have a good one. Bye.